Hi, I'm Carlie Cornell.
And I'm Harvey Cornell, and we are Dragon Phoenix Games and the design team for Gathering Gloom.
Right, so today we want to show you a little introduction, no more than that, to what we are going to call our quick start game. This is something that we have a couple of objectives in developing this. One is we want to get you into the action as fast as possible, and two, we're hoping to shorten the game. Now, we've been testing this for a little while, and we find that if we're playing in the standard medium difficulty, that in fact the game comes down to just over an hour. So,
and this is not a replacement for the full game. This is just an option for those who want a shorter game or want less build-up time and jump right into the action. Mm-hmm. So personally, I like the build-up. But we have had requests, thank you Rado for example, for an option for those who want to jump in faster. And so that's what this is. It's just an optional way to play.
And it will be described fully in the rules, so you don't need to memorize what we're doing here. And but we want to show you what the differences are in setup and a little bit about just a few turns just to show you how fast you get into it. Okay?
Okay, so let me just quickly review what the changes are, some of them that are already done ahead of time here. Normally you would draw out 14 to 16 crises, depending on the difficulty level. In this quick start version, we're going to reduce that by 4, so it would be 10 to 12. Now we're going to show you an example of the normal game, so it's the one in the middle. So I have drawn 11 crises cards and put them out. However, also in the normal game, 3 of those start in play at either the mansion, the mine, or the mortuary. In the quick start, we don't pull any out ahead of time, and one of the reasons for that is because normally the gloom track starts over here at 0, and you're a long way from having to include the black dread die that brings crises out into play. And so you need something to kind of jumpstart the crises. But we're going to start the gloom track at 18, which is where the black die becomes a part of the events every turn. So you're not going to have a problem with events coming out. So we're not going to put any out ahead of time. We're just going to let the game bring them out during the events. Also, we are giving, because of the fact that this die also has peril on it, and so instead of just throwing you in and having no mitigation for that, we're going to let each player start with 1 luck token so that you have a little bit of mitigation for the nasty peril cards right off the bat. After that 1 each, the rest is up to you to deal with. And then the other 2 things that we're going to do is normally during this phase that we're cutting out between 0 and 18 on the gloom track, one of the things you would have been doing was trying to get some minions to build up your team. Well, we're just going to go ahead and jumpstart you, and you're going to get a minion right off the bat. We're going to show you that step in just a moment. And we're also, because during that early stage you might have acquired a stalker, we're also just going to randomly assign you a stalker. So we're going to show you those 2 steps where we get the minions and the stalker, and then we're going to start play. Oh, by the way, I'm going to play the scientist. Carlie's going to play the witch.
Right. So I'm going to start. So,
and this is the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our starting minions. So Carlie, now we have set up the board the way we normally would have, with 4 villagers on Main Street and 1 in the cemetery. Carlie can pick one of the 4 villagers on Main Street as her initial minion.
I actually see a pretty darn fine candidate. I'd like to take Jerry off the board.
Which has...
he has a special ability that says at check time you have to take the first evidence from the constabulary as incriminating evidence, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to put him here. The other reason to choose him for me is that he has a point of horror to offer me as a minion, and horror is one of the things I don't have at all in my own personal attributes, so or traits. So I want to, I look for somebody who has that as one of their traits to offer. So he's a good choice for me.
Okay. And then we would go around the table and everybody else select minions. I'm the only other one, so it's my turn. And what we're going to do is the next player can choose to discard one of the remaining villagers or not, their choice, and then restock till there's 4 choices again. And I am going to decide I don't want to leave Gertie Butts out there. I have no interest in her as a minion, and I don't really see either of us being that anxious to have her as a minion after the game starts. So I'm going to take her off, slide the remaining 2 over, refill with 2 new minions. Oh, there's the deputy, and there's Bob, which has strength, which is another thing Carlie's interested in. But you know, I am very interested in that law enforcement.
I think so.
So I think I'm going to choose.
Besides which, it's not.
And Gertie's just sitting here for a moment until we reshuffle her back in. But I'm going to go ahead and take Tommy Johns, the deputy. And by the way, we've experimented with this, but we are not going to take any consequences for taking these minions. We're not going to take the normal fear or evidence card. You just get it free. Okay, so now if there were more players, we'd go through that same process, but there's not. So we'll go ahead and finish restocking the board. We've got Rosie Parker. And then we're going to each take a stalker. Here's one for Carlie.
Oh,
She's got
John LaField's more law enforcement. He might have to come work for me at some point.
And then I got Ben Shields, which he would be a great minion also.
My favorites.
Okay, so
he's got 2 points.
Gertie was the only one that got rejected, so I'm going to shuffle her back in, and we're ready to go.
Okay.
That easy peasy, quick start.
Yeah. Okay.
And Carlie has the first player marker, so she's going to start.
We are probably going to play the whole game, but we'll play a few turns just to show what the impact is of having these changes in the early stages. So, first impact, you roll 2 dice from the very beginning.
Because we're starting right where the black die enters play,
yeah.
And we have to roll both each turn.
Oh, goody. And I rolled peril on the very first opportunity.
We've got 2 gloom here, and an item.
An item. Okay, so this is a torch, and it will go to
John.
my friend John, because...
Oh, he's even more interesting now. He's got not only strength, but horror as well.
Right. But I don't have my enthrall card yet, so I won't be able to do that right away. But I am going to try to do that.
Well, not to mention that he would require 4 points of horror. And right now you only have a couple.
It'll take me a little while to build up to that. I might do something
now,
else here.
Being the witch, and seeing as there are 3 women out there, one of them with a nice point of acumen.
She didn't get picked on the first. I thought about choosing Eloise. Eloise has a point of acumen to offer, and she's a professional, so sometimes she gets a good item. But I thought about taking her as my initial minion, except that she's easy for me as the witch to invite into my coven. And so my idea is to come back to her on my own time rather than take her on the initial pick, which is,
Which is an additional reason I left her there and didn't take her myself, because I thought it would be nice to have that for Carlie to pick up later.
Right.
Not to mention the fact I wanted a cop in my pocket right away.
Yeah, there's always a good thing. Those are just a few thoughts there. Now, this peril die, I don't...
Which is exactly why I gave some luck tokens out at start, to give you a chance to not draw peril in your first turn. Yeah. Maybe.
And so this time I rolled a blank, and that's a good thing. Though we don't have any crises out, and it would be a nice thing to have a crisis to look at, but that will happen. I'm not at all worried about that coming out. So I won't do that on this turn. I think what I want to do on this turn is maybe get another card.
Yeah, Madame Zelda, you like to go there a lot of times and get something.
I do, but I think, that, or, you know what? I just used my luck token. I'm going to go get some more luck tokens. So I will exhaust myself and Jerry and take 2 luck tokens and then
Trying to keep us out of trouble.
Let's look at the checks. I have an ear and a nose where I am. And John doesn't have enough fear. She's got an ear. I'll just do a quick. That isn't going to do anything. She has a brain, so I have to check for an eye. We explain all of this in more depth in the rules and on other videos, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it.
Bob has an eye instead of a brain.
Bob has an eye, so I'll need a brain. Oh, I got Bob.
Oh, now you got two stalkers.
Stinking Bob, the golf pro, just hanging out.
I had him the last game. As stalkers go, he's not one of the worst, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, that means it is your turn.
And you can draw
my cards.
And I'll roll the dice. And would you mind putting a piece of evidence out for me, sweetie?
I'd be happy to.
And I got it.
It's instant.
Instant. Family member with the lowest fear gets a fear. Well, guess what? We're tied, so we both get a fear. Would you create a discard for us?
Yep.
One fear. And then I do get a crisis. Here's our first crisis at the bump. 2 charm and 3 horror. Well,
it might work for me. Oh, that's...
I'm not quite there yet.
Nah, me either, but I will be.
Okay. Now, I don't have my enthrall card out handy right now, so I can't do anything unless I were to go to the university and force it to come out. Well, maybe force it. I've got 4 cards. I can look at 3. I might get it out. I might not. But you know what? Something I didn't do last time that I kind of wish I had is go intentionally get something like a coerce, or a strain would be really good for him because he's got got a really nice set of attributes.
You don't have a strain card?
I don't start with a strain card. I think I'm going to go to Madame Zelda's, and I'm going to take 3 fear to allow me to go get a strain card. That's what you do at Madame Zelda's. You say what kind of card you want, and you draw and get the first one of that type and keep it.
Yes.
Wow.
Don't look at the other ones because it'll only make you sad.
Okay. Oh, I got a strain which has horror, which is something else that I would like to have more of, is horror. So I got that.
Good.
And, well, I have a deceive card in my hand, and I have 1 charm right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of 3 of these fears that I just put on there. And then I'm going to be done, and I'm going to do my checks. I have, an eye and a nose. And then starting with Kim Silvers, she has an ear, so I have to check for a brain, ear. And then I have a brain, so now I'll be checking for an ear, just the opposite. Nope. And, then we have,
an eye and an ear. Oh, she's automatic.
I covered both my slots. So now
wait a minute. She doesn't have the brain. So that was Eloise's brain.
Oh, that was Eloise's brain. So I have, okay. I don't have brain. Okay. Nothing.
Yay.
All right. I am done except for drawing. You can go.
Okay. I will roll some dice. Let's see. Item... Gun with silver bullets.
And 1 gloom.
1 gloom. Now, neither of us is vulnerable to silver, so these aren't going to be exceptionally horrible for us.
You have to give that to Bob. Now he's got 2 strength, though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. I don't.
Or for toughness, a little harder to murder. Yeah, not so hard to terrify though.
Yeah, he's still a pretty cheap terrify. So I will refresh, which I should have done before, and then I want to. it's okay. I'm gonna get rid of Bobby here. I'm gonna use my Terrify card, and I'm going to use the point of horror that I have with Jerry Drake, because he only has 1 point of courage. He's actually pretty easy to send out of town. He's scared to death. He's leaving town. He's not coming back. Bye, Bob. Then I haven't moved yet. 2 and 3. 1, nope, not this time. Well, now that's not true. I could go to Acme. Oh no, because I used him. Oh, 1, 2, nope. Nope, just not going to be able to do it. The constabulary is clear. That's weird. I'm going to go to the university and use my traits to draw 3 and choose 1. Ew. I've got 3 cards. I want all 3. I've got a deceive card. You cannot have too many deceive cards, but I'm going to let that go because I have one. And there's a burgle card here with 2 charm.
Ooh.
And a thwart card with a point of acumen.
That is a tough choice.
I know. This is really hard. I'm going to keep the thwart card and give the burgle card up.
Yeah, I mean you could like
then,
burgle that
yeah.
item from him and give him
Give
down
it to
there.
Jerry. That'd be pretty awesome. Actually, I wonder if I should. We aren't. Well, we're rolling the peril die every time. I need to. I'm going to keep the thwart card. I have in this location an ear and a brain, and that means Kimmy's got an ear. Don't care. Brain. Don't care. Eye and ear. Yeah, I got to check for a nose. That's with Rosie.
You almost always have to check
nose.
Rosie Parker. That's why we call her Nosy Parker, because you almost always have to check for a nose for her.
Yep. That's it. I will give you the thing, and I will draw my last 2 cards.
Well, an exhaust.
So that I can have my enthrall card finally.
Dice. Oh no, 2 more gloom. An item.
Yeah. On the shorter track, rolling the item with 2 gloom, it's a bigger penalty.
Boom. Ben is going to get a dog.
A dog.
Now he has
strength.
2 horror and a strength. How nice is that? Oh. And then another crisis comes out. This one also at the bump. 3 charm, 1 strength, and 2 horror. But you know what? Here we are, and I'm going to do a crisis already.
You have to. If you can.
So I'm moving to the bump. Okay. I'm going to use my nice new strain card. I'm going to exhaust Tommy to pay the cost of using a strain card, plus take a fear. And then I'm going to be able to use my attributes twice. I'm trying to do the one that takes 2 charm and 3 horror. By straining on my character, I get to double my charm and horror, so I have 2 and 2 on charm and horror. And I'll add 1 more horror to complete that one.
Yay,
So
we're on the
put that over
board.
somewhere.
We're on the board.
And then I have to roll the dread die as usual. That's our dog seeing something outside. I got a peril, so I'm going to use my luck token and try again. Got a blank.
Alright.
Okay, that's all I'm going to do this turn. So, checks. I have 1 brain in the bump. And then 1 ear for Kim. It's not a problem. 1 brain for Eloise, not a problem. An ear and an eye. Here we go, nosy again. I need a nose to trigger Nosy Parker. Nothing. Okay. Back to you, Carlie.
Okay. Then
There's my enthrall card. Now, I'm going to use, I drew 1 card from my deck. I'm going to shuffle before I draw again, because I was trying to find that, but now I would rather find my other points of horror, so I'm going to shuffle right now.
Okay. I have drawn an item with 2 gloom again, which means we're going to have to do Okay, so this is a research assistant who goes to a professional, which is going to be Eloise. The professor has a research assistant. Go figure. And then this is a peril die, which I still don't like, so I'm going to try again and get a crisis at the bump.
3 acumen and 2 horror.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, there's a thought. If I were to enthrall Eloise, as we discussed earlier, that would be pretty, that would be good. I'm going to do that because she can give me a 3rd point of acumen. So...
A 3rd point? Oh, you have 1 on a card.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and use my enthrall card and a point of charm.
Do make coven.
To make coven, which is my special ability. And I will pull Eloise down and she will be exhausted. And now we do the consequences I do have to take. I have to take 1 for using my special ability and 2 for the slot that she's sitting in. Which is going to make me check John if I don't do something about my fear.
Well,
But I have my deceive card. I used me. I should
Your
go the
murder
other way
card
around.
has a charm on it.
Yeah, I should have gone the other way around.
Let's say you did.
Yeah. So, just to clarify, I've got 2 points of charm on my character, and I've got 1 point of charm on this card. I only need 1 to activate the enthrall, so I'm going to use that for the enthrall, and then I'll use 2 points on my deceive card. And what that does for me is the first point gives me 3 points of fear removed, and then the 2nd point of charm takes the last. So that cleans me up. It also cleans me out. I'm getting kind of low on cards, but that puts me in pretty good shape. Oh, we didn't put out the catacombs.
No,
Okay.
I wasn't going to put that out for this video.
Okay. I will go here and draw a card. Ooh, it's another thwart. I think I'll keep it. And then now I wish I'd taken the burgle card, right? 20/20 hindsight, right?
Of course, you wouldn't have the extra point of acumen if you had.
There's that. That's true. So in this location, I don't have any symbols. I don't have to check him because I got rid of my fear, and neither of these people has enough symbols to need a check. So I am done with my checks.
Ooh, look at where
Oh,
the
we
boom tracker is.
didn't do this.
You're supposed to do the...
Supposed to do this
Town
before we
council
finish the events. This says add a villager.
Well, we can do that. And then mine, we each have to get 1. I was supposed to take 2 fear.
Yeah.
Didn't change it. We didn't do it in the right order, but as it turns out, those things wouldn't have affected her turn. Okay, so now she's giving it back to me. Did you draw?
I did.
Okay.
Did I?
No, you did
No, I
not.
haven't. I have to shuffle first. So. That's
Okay,
fine.
so I'm going to unexhaust Tommy, roll my events, 1 gloom, 1 item. We'll get a lot of items. Oh, joy.
1, 2,
Well,
3.
Kim now has a holy symbol. And I have a peril and no...
Oh, here.
You want to do that,
Yes.
or do you want to do the thwart? Okay.
My jinx card is out. You want that? Let's do that because Jerry hasn't been used. So
Okay.
I can activate. I have a jinx card that says I can set a die to any face that I want it to.
So shall we go with a blank? Because
yes.
these will keep coming
Yes.
out. I'm not worried about them coming out.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Okay.
idea.
Now I have a strategy. I would like to add Ben Shields to my team. I have my Enthrall card, I have a Charm, and I have 3 Horror, but he's got 4 Courage. So my plan is I'm going to go down to the university. I'm going to exhaust Tommy to let me look at 3 cards. I'm going to go from my deck because I know there's another point of horror in there. I picked that. Now I can use my Enthrall and my Charm and Horror and these 3 horrors, and I can add Ben Shields to my team, gaining
Sweet.
2 horror and a strength.
Nice.
He comes in exhausted.
Nice minion.
And I get 3 more fear. And I'll also get an evidence for the Enthrall card effect.
Okay.
That's
We're-
all I'm going to do.
We're
So-
3 or 4 turns in, and this is the first time we pulled evidence. That's just weird.
I have a brain and an ear at that location. And she's got an ear, no problem.
An eye and an ear.
Ear and eye, yes. I'll have to, again,
Check a nose
check a
for
nose
nosy.
on nosy. No, nothing. And then there's a nose. And I need to check an eye on the lunch lady, Joyce. Nothing. So I am done.
Okay.
And I'll draw up while you start.
Okay. And then I will roll some dice. Okay. I'm at the manor and I rolled a villager, so I'm going to pull out a staff card. Oop, we've got the chauffeur. Nice. And I rolled a blank, so that's okay on that. Exhaust and unexhaust.
So now you're capable of doing the crisis with 3
1,
acumen and
2,
2
3.
horror.
Let me see if that's still true. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, I've got plenty. So I am going to go ahead and do that because I'm a little worried about the fact that we've already passed the town council meeting and we've only got 1 solved. So I'm going to do 1 acumen, 2 acumen, 3 acumen, and 1, 2 points of horror.
And that'll do this
and
one.
I'll take care of that. We'll put that in the pile. And then I roll the dread die. And, of course, peril, which I really don't want. And that. That'll work.
Another crisis. Oh, mortuary. 2 charm and 3 horror.
Okay. Sweet.
So, you think that's a...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a very fast start. I mean, we've already done 2 crises. We each up to 2 minions because we had a leg out partly.
Yeah. And what you find is that the crises fill up. In the next 2 or 3 turns, that area is going to be completely full. And you need to get them all resolved before you hit 50, and we are zooming down this track. So, that's probably...
And we've discovered the game is at least a half an hour shorter this way.
almost an hour. I think.
Somewhere between a half hour and an hour short. Where it's usually an hour and a half to 2 hours. Our last game was what, an hour and 5 minutes?
It's an hour and 5 minutes.
And that's pretty fast for, so I think it's accomplished what we set out to do. It's jump into the action faster, and the games are shorter, noticeably shorter. So
yeah. So we hope you enjoy the quick start version of the game. And as I say, we will have it in the rules. We'll put something out between now and then to just give you a feel for what's involved. It's mostly just the setup changes. After that, it plays the way the game normally plays. So,
well,
thanks for
joining
listening,
us.
and